Many of the attackers were off-duty B Specials, the reserve police force. Police protection had been inadequate.
By the mere fact that they were going marching through loyalist areas, this in itself was provocation, as far as many Protestants saw it. And they reacted, well, you had your Burntollett and the waterside fracas and this type of thing. And basically it was because of the fact that the Protestant population feared this Republican threat and feared this Marxist threat. And this is the only way in which they could react against it.
The state was utterly sectarian, and that it was important to demonstrate the depth of the sectarian reality of the state to outside opinion. And that, I think, was the basic strategy behind the Burntollett March, where it was known that the march would meet resistance. But the point was to demonstrate that it was not possible to march from between the two major cities of Northern Ireland without being attacked by loyalist thugs, and to put to the test the state, to put to the test the state's forces.
The march had made its point. Its rapturous welcome by Derry Catholics illustrated how it had further polarised the two communities. The authority of moderates in Northern Ireland was further undermined. That night, the police went into the Bogside, the Catholic district of Derry, and, to quote a government report, were guilty of assault and battery, malicious damage, and the use of provocative, sectarian and political slogans. Northern Ireland was at the point of no return. The 11th of January 1969. This civil rights march was scheduled to pass through the centre of Newry.
Last night, the local committee on your behalf made a decision. That decision was that they would not accept any reroute on this march. They would not accept this unjust and tyrannical ban imposed by the discredited unionist government. It is our view that we cannot go forward and accept any reroutes.
The parade will not be permitted to turn left at this point.
Order! Order!
I would now appeal to you all to be sensible in this matter and to continue a peaceful parade along the route which has been laid down.
The civil rights movement up to now has followed a policy of non-violence. Now, are we going to let down the decent people of this country? No! There are a lot of people have suffered. Now, is their suffering going to be in vain? Or can we wait for a few more months to get the reforms which must inevitably come?
We'll fight them. One goes on. We'll fight them. Come on!
As the stewards lost control, Catholic demonstrators were for the first time violent.
But I have also said that if there should arise a crisis in this land, when I would be needed to enter the political arena, I would not hear, but I would go with the support of the Protestant people. I am making a solemn declaration to you that if there is an election in the near future in Ulster, whether in prison or out of prison, I'm going to fight O'Neill and Van.
Paisley was now emerging as a major Protestant politician. In February 1969, Protestant demonstrators in Belfast were chanting, "O'Neill must go." Then in March and April, there were bomb attacks against water and electricity installations. It was assumed to be the responsibility of the IRA. Actually, they'd been perpetrated by Protestant extremists. However, these incidents raised old fears and anxieties about the IRA. As water